Now let me tell you, I know there's people in the Italian community that are telling me, Andre, you know, you've done enough. You're out there, you know, let it go. Let it go. They're getting too popular. It's like, no, you can't. You cannot do it. Absolutely. And let me tell you why. In our world, perception is reality. Perception is reality. This show and its reruns and its offshoots and all of these appearances will go on forever. And from now on, when a young person who maybe is dressed well, who is cared for well, looks good, maybe tan, then is Italian, and goes for a job, and they see the vowel at the end of their name, and they look at it, how do we know that that employer, in his mind, not verbally, because he'll never say it, that employer in his mind is going to say, I don't want this potential drunken, violence against woman person working for me. And that young person will not get a job. And that can be an inherent perception that's there that can hurt people going forward. Let me tell you why it's real. Unico, as I told you, has been around for 88 years. I don't think anybody here thinks that we're connected with organized crime, right? I don't think so. Nobody knows. Obviously, that's the perception that people have from being Italian. Unico had a meeting just about 1.5 years ago in Baltimore, Maryland. And it just so happened at that same hotel, there was a meeting of the sheriffs. The law enforcement was having a convention at the same time. And I walked on, at this point I'm executive vice president of Unico, I walked onto an elevator. And there's an employee from the hotel, and I'm wearing my Unico badge. And he says, oh, you're with Unico? He says, isn't that funny that Unico's here at the same time as the sheriffs? And I said, what do you mean by that? He says, you know, Unico, the mob, and the sheriffs. It's that perception. It's ingrained in there. I was interviewed on an Indiana radio station. You know, people always say, well, geez, people know that Italians are not like that. Why are you bothering, fighting so hard about this? People know that this is just a small part of the Italian community. They know. No, they don't know. Here's why. I was interviewed on the station, a very well-known drive time hour, so this was a prominent person on the radio. And we're having a conversation. I'm explaining my background. I'm telling him everything that I feel about Jersey Shore. And he very sincerely paused and said on the air, Andre, you said that you're Italian from New Jersey? You don't sound Italian. So I said, what do you mean? He said, you know, like Tony Soprano, A-O, you know, A-O-A. He was serious. It wasn't a joke. He literally was surprised that I didn't sound Italian. And that's the problem you have. Perception is reality. These programs will be ingrained in the psyche of our country, and they will remain there. And when they see a young Italian woman or a young Italian man, they're going to connect it to this show. And we, and our children, and our grandchildren don't deserve that. Absolutely. I tell you that it would not happen with another group. And there's proof of that right at MTV. They were putting on a show called New Yorkers about the Puerto Rican community in New York. And this was going to come out in June of '09. And I have all the documentation where La Razza and a number of Puerto Ricans stood up and said, no, we don't like that portrayal. MTV ran for the hills, pulled the program, made a donation to La Razza, agreed to put on positive programming, and apologized. Why do we deserve less? Why?
Because we're not united.
Well, that is a problem, Tom. You're right. We are not united. But candidly, I have to tell you, this issue has galvanized people together. And although we may be in disparate groups, and although we may be separate, we are working in the same direction. So we may not be able to get to that utopia, Tom, where we're all working together in one group. But nevertheless, we're at least pushing in the same direction. So let's all keep pushing. We can't stop. We really can't stop. And we should continue to do it. Now, you know, as with our heritage, we're emotional. I think you can see that I get very excited about this. And this is important to me. I mean, I'm taking time. I'm a volunteer. I'm taking time away from my business. But I have to continue to do this because I'd be fooling myself if I took on my position in Unico, talked about my heritage, and then didn't do something about it. So I ask you, if you're proud of your heritage, if you're proud of what we've done for this country and the world, if you're proud of what your parents or grandparents did to come over here, don't wait for me or somebody else to do something. Join with us, an email, a phone call, going to a meeting. It's worth it. We're worth it, so please be with us. Thank you very much. By the way, I do have one thing for everybody here that's here tonight. I do have a little gift. I have our Italian American 2010 calendar for everyone. So we'll distribute that out. You'll get one of our calendars. That's one of the positive things that we've done. And we do the positive things as well.
First of all,
I'll stay around.
Andre is, we're very fortunate that both Linda and Andre as our spokespersons in this fight against defamation. This is not something that is reared its head just recently. It's been something that's been going on for a long, long time. It's time that it stopped. You know, we come here every month and we enjoy being each other's company, and we want to be together. And it's important that we are together. But enough is enough. As my grandfather would have said, basta.
Basta.
Right? Basta. Basta. Thank you, Jack. It's enough. It has to stop. And we have to support our leaders. You know, I sit in big shoes, and I can't fill them, and I know that. Bill Fugazi was a giant in our community. And he would have spoken from this pulpit just as I am speaking today. This has to stop. And it's not just an effort that has to stop with one attack. It has to continue. We have to let our people know that we will stand up for them. And that we will continue to stand up for them. And thank God that we have Andre. Thank God that we have Linda. Linda?
Thank you.
No, really. Thank you, Linda. You've always been there. You know, in our own way, we have to do every possible thing that we can do to make sure that this atrocity stops against our youth and our community. It's not for me. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a senior citizen. You know, and maybe some of you are too. You know, it's not for me. Sit down, Bob. Bob, sit down, please. It's not for me. It's for our children. Listen, come on, be serious for a second. You know, I want you to enjoy yourselves, but like, be serious for a second. It's for our children and for our children's children. Enough is enough. You know, thank God we have people like Andre and Linda that are willing to stand up. I'm willing to stand up with them, and I pledge you that the 140 organizations, I can't guarantee every one of them, but I will make sure that every one of them knows, of the Coalition of Italian American Associations, knows your positions and stands with you as much as I can possibly allow.